Hey, yo. Check it.
Welcome back, hero.
My word is my sword, Hokage and Batosai, pulling the blades out of the forge, yo. Prior to my knowledge of the Force, was thinking Jedi, but through obtaining holocrons from both sides, I'm under gray skies. Everything that glitter ain't kyber crystal, my mind will lift you. In this time we shine together, disarm your pistol, yo. Welcome to the SwordCast. My wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast. My wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast. My wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast. My wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash.
Wagwan.
Shoot.
Immediate.
Oh man.
Here we go.
Hey man, yeah, hey man, yeah.
Yo, so we got a new drop, dog.
Hey,
I discovered this cat on YouTube. Shout out to my man. I don't know him personally, but I steal my man's. Chunks from the UK. His name on YouTube, CHUNKZ.
Hilarious.
Bro, these niggas is just funny out here, just being charming on the internet. I don't really know what they do except for
They're just funny.
they're just funny and like funny. And he starts his video with this every single time.
Yeah, hey man, yeah.
And that's just like the best drop ever, bro.
It is. It's the greatest drop I've ever heard.
So we got to find a way to incorporate that into the pantheon and in the appropriate situation.
And I have a feeling it won't be hard.
Ooh.
Let's get it. Hey man. Episode 72. Yeah. 71, 72.
No. I'm just trying to think. Do I know another random offensive lineman?
Lineman by the number 72. Let me see. 72. I'm sure the Vikings have. You know what? Nope, he was number 73. What about? Nope, he was number 77. No. What about? Nope.
No.
I am trying.
Not gonna be able to do it.
Come on. I know there's gonna be somebody. We got a guard right now. Ezra Cleveland. He's a rookie. He's number 72.
Strong.
Boom, found one.
Bam.
We did it. And that does it for the sports section of the SwordCast. Hey man, episode 72. We straight.
Hey man,
You said it.
yeah, hey man, yeah.
Hey man, I said it again. Spring sort of said what's up a little bit.
A little bit,
A
bro.
little tiny bit.
And then it rained, but
And it rained and it was cold, but
it's all good.
Spring
Yeah.
did kind of say what's up.
Yeah.
What are you into currently, my friend?
I just got you can only pick. I just saw the title or the email. You can only poop 3. So I am interested in that. We'll see later. I never see these ahead of time. By the way, these are almost always a surprise.
Oh man.
So what have I been into? Well, I've been into. I feel like my microphone is super loud.
I don't know.
So what I've been into is the joint on Netflix, the history of the samurai.
Word. So real quick, man. Shout out to my homie Nick Milks, man. He's me and Nick we met. We actually got kind of cool with each other through like this Facebook wrestling group that we both been a part of for a long time. And then I found out that Nick was actually a really dope battle rapper. You know what I'm saying? And then he ended up like kind of being a fan of my music, and then me and him, we done linked up a couple times, went to some wrestling shows. Like we've been to some Evolve shows together. We've been to some NXT shows together. We've been to some Ring of Honor shows together when they used to do the War of the Worlds tour with New Japan. Yeah. So, but yeah, man. So my homie Nick, he actually he goes by Manifesto, but this guy is actually a very, very good film critic, man, and he
Word.
does he writes reviews on Letterboxd. If you guys ever get on letterboxd.com, make sure y'all check out some of his reviews he writes, man. I know he just did one on that movie Queen and Slim, and then I know he just wrote another one on Chirac movie too. But yeah, man, look him up on Letterboxd, man. Manifesto 734, I think that's his handle on there. But he's a great writer, and he does some really good reviews on some movies. So if you're I know everybody's kind of in the house and everything, so if you're looking for some movies to watch and looking for some good words on them, if you're going to be interested in them or not, definitely check out Manifesto 734 on Letterboxd. The reason I brought that up is because he actually is the one who told me about that samurai show on Netflix. Yeah.
So it's really dope. So here, first things first.
So what is it? Is it like a docudrama type of thing?
It is exactly. It's a docudrama, which I actually prefer. Like I don't know if I prefer, but I ended up really liking it that way because it's like you can watch this in like a college course and super educational, and it's narrated very much like the kind of National Geographic kind of I don't know, colonization of white elites colonizing another country's history, but whatever. It's told really well done. It is. So I took several classes early in my college career on the history of Japan. So some of this stuff I knew about, but it goes into a ton of detail about the Sengoku period, which is like the warring states, the unification of Japan with Oda Nobunaga, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, Tokugawa, what's the other guy? The guy who killed Nobunaga, Hide something, Matsuhide, something like that. Anyways, it's really dope, man. It's like, bro, the dude that got playing Oda Nobunaga straight up looks and acts like Shinsuke Nakamura. It's hilarious because and I didn't know this, right? You don't know this going learning about it in school, but apparently Oda or Nobunaga was like a wild, kind of misbehaving, sort of short-tempered, wild-haired ass nigga kind of. He wasn't very kingly. He was very much wild and crazy, and he reminds me of that unhinged Shinsuke character. The only thing that it's only 6 episodes. I watched almost all of them in one day. I'm almost done. The only thing that I felt myself being a little disappointed in, and it's just facts, it's just history, is that we romanticize that period of history almost more than any other period.
100%.
So much so that we kind of forgot about the fact that at that time period, Ghost of Tsushima takes place in the late 1200s, right?
Yeah, this is 1560s.
This is late 15 up until the 1600s, right?
Yeah, and
these niggas was using rifles. Yeah, these niggas was strapped.
Well, that's at a time when samurai really went through that period of royalty, kind of Europeans coming in and bringing Western philosophy into Japan, and them kind of adapting to that, and then kind of pushing out the era of the samurai. What you're talking about happens later. That's the Meiji Restoration. Yeah, that's what the movie The Last Samurai is about. That it's about literally the last, the Last Samurai, where they kind of turn the emperor into a figurehead, and it's really kind of a Western, parliament presidency type situation. Yeah. And the samurai are kind of outdated, but now. So this is kind of the best of both worlds, right? In the Sengoku period, the samurai, there were no Western armies. There were no Gatling guns or anything like that. The samurai were still the main fighting force. But just imagine a samurai with a motherfucking rifle on his shoulder and a sword, dog. So so I mean, actually, that's not exactly true. They had infantry, or they had niggas posted up. As a matter of fact, I learned through this documentary that Oda Nobunaga allegedly invented the 3-shot volley, where you have, because back then this was the first gun ever, right? So it took forever to reload, literally 5 minutes to reload. And so you would, one dude would take a shot,
and then he'll have 2 archers behind him that will cover for him with bows and arrows while he's reloading. So basically, the battle would start off long range, like you would try to draw your enemy into a kill zone and open fire, and then once that happens, then the swordsmen come out and start like hand-to-hand combating niggas to death type shit.
Right.
So the Sengoku period was the best of both worlds, where the way of the samurai, the Bushido, they were at the height of their power. You had to have sword skills to be legit, and you had to have archery and rifleman skills to be like a real warlord. And so, which is cool, but it's also like, you know, we kind of think about, you look at the video games, you look at the anime, the movies, we think about that period where it's just like, you know, straight up like katana to katana. Like, no, niggas was pulling straps out on each other back then. Right. Which was, it wasn't, I don't know if disappointing is the word, but it was kind of like, okay, I guess technology matters and you're going to do what you got to do to win.
Unfortunately.
They did, is another thing that I learned, is they talked about the mercenaries or the guerrilla soldiers of Iga, which is one of the provinces that Oda Nobunaga had to take over. But they were a really small clan. They didn't have a whole lot of military might, but they just refused to give up, and they were a real pain in his ass. And he couldn't really figure out why until one of his sons went to go try to conquer him. And he learned that the reason why they were so hard to beat is because these niggas was using unfair tactics, like hiding, like poisoning you, like setting bombs, setting traps. And it was that battle and that like clan, the Iga clan, that gave rise to the myth of the ninja. Like, that's where the ninja started. Right. Is at that. Well, that's where the popularization of like that style of combat that eventually turned into what we now look back on as ninja started there. Right. Which is really, really dope.
That's dope.
Nigga learned a lot out here, goddamn it.
I gotta check it out, man. I've read this book recently. Well, I read it. I started it. I started reading it like probably last year, and I finally went back to it. It's called The Art of the Samurai, and it's a good book, man. And it kind of gives you an introduction of all the different eras of samurai, and then it gets into kind of what this show is kind of talking about. And
my bad, I'm trying to fix them.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, I know that. Sorry, my bad. But is it back to your normal volume right now?
Yeah. So yeah, man, I gotta check it out. Boom. I'm definitely gonna check that out.
Yeah. What about you? What are you into?
Look, man, you gotta play this Pokemon update on Pokemon Sword. The update is so this would be the Crown Tundra update, right? And I hadn't played it in a while, and I finally sat down and played it for a minute. My son's been like on my head about playing it. And yo, it's dope. It's really dope, man. Like,
Word.
The Crown Tundra is huge. Like, it's a big space. Like, got a bunch of good Pokemon in there. You do like the like, they have like a Dynamax like cavern sort of, and you go through there and you can run into that's how I got Blaziken, Sceptile, Zapdos, what is it, Raikou?
The fire dog.
Yeah. No, Raikou is
he's the rain dog. Entei is the fire dog.
Yeah,
Sossuin is the rain dog.
Yep.
Raikou is
Sossuin too.
Thunder dog.
I got Sossuin too. I got
bro, that was off top. That's Gen 2. Gen 2 legendary knowledge off top, bro. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this shit forever.
Then they got the Gen 1 legendaries on there, but they got like the Galarian versions of them. So you got Moltres, you got Zapdos, you got Articuno, but they just look sweeter because they're from the Galar region. It's getting a little Pokemon sweaty in here.
Hey, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, well, actually,
my glasses up. But yeah, man, it's fire. You gotta play it. It's really dope. Like I said, a lot of good Pokemon. Oh, you know what? Okay, so I've been you know who I like, bro? I like Excelgor. Excelgor, the ninja. What is it, like I guess it's like I don't know what it is. It's a bug.
Is that new? Is he one of the newer Johns?
I think he's fairly new, but he's Excelgor. It's a bug. I don't really know what kind of bug he is.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
He's like a ninja bug.
Yeah,
He kind of looks like a caterpillar, like a
yeah.
I guess like a what does he look like? I don't know how to describe him.
Yeah, I mean like a cocoon sort of.
Yeah, he looks, but he's like a ninja, and
he got a sweet design.
he's awesome. He's got a sweet design, and you know what I found out about after kind of playing with him, this Excelgor is ridiculously fast. He's got to be one of the fastest Pokemon like ever. Is he?
I'm just looking at the level. A level 100 Excelgor has a speed of 427.
Goodness gracious,
which is ridiculous.
Bro,
Let me look at the base
his speed
stats.
is nuts, and his design is sweet. But you know what, bro? Guess what move he learns? Water Shuriken.
Oh, does he? That's fire, and that's perfect.
So look. That kind of makes me wonder if they're going to put Greninja in the game at some time.
Of course they are.
Because he's the only Pokemon in that game that has that move.
That's true.
So he's the only other Pokemon I've ever seen have the move besides Greninja.
Yeah.
So
no doubt.
I wonder if they're going to sneak him in the game at some point.
Yeah, his base, yeah, he's pretty strong.
Bro, he's dope. You should, he's
his
got a
base
good special
speed
attack
stat is 145, which is
that's ridiculous.
Pretty damn high.
Yeah, he's dope. The Ninja Cocoon thing.
Yeah.
Excelgor. He's sweet. But that's what I've been into, man. Just playing a lot of Pokemon Sword.
Boom.
But yeah, man. Oh yeah, Jiu-Jitsu too, you know.
Shout
out to my master. I got a stripe on my belt.
Nice.
On what was that? Friday. That was Friday.
Strong.
Yeah, man, so that was dope. But yeah, man, let's get into some wrestling recap. I told you you'd get a chance to use that sound. So last time we did the episode, I think it was Elimination Chamber was that night.
Yeah.
And I said we'd wait so we could talk about it. And
I didn't watch it, obviously.
Elimination Chamber. So, I mean, you know, they did 2 Elimination Chamber matches. They did the first one, Daniel Bryan. The match was good. It was dope. You had Kofi, Daniel Bryan was in it. Kofi, Randy Orton, Sheamus. It was a good match, and Daniel Bryan won.
Nice.
But I didn't really like the way they played it. I mean, he won, and then Roman Reigns kind of came out right after he won, so he was like dead, and Roman Reigns kind of killed him,
beat him up.
Yeah, won and defended his belt. Which, you know, Roman and heel Roman, it was cool. You know, it's kind of good to see him. The character change, man. You know, it was really, really good for him. So that was cool. But then, you know what I mean, they had the other one, which was actually for the WWE title, which this was the main event one. That was Drew McIntyre, AJ Styles. But anyway, long story short, that was that one was for the WWE title. Drew McIntyre won, defended his belt, and then we got a super exciting Money in the Bank cash in. There hasn't been a good Money in the Bank cash in forever. Like I mean, first of all, Otis won the Money in the Bank briefcase, and then they just kind of were like, oh, you know, it was a bad choice. Forget it ever happened, and then they just put it on Miz. So the Miz comes out, cashes in the Money in the Bank briefcase, and now the new WWE champion is.
Jeez.
Yo. Goodness, I forgot it kept going like that. Yeah, Miz, man. Miz won. He's the champ. I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about it.
Not gonna be able to do.
I mean, then, you know, Matt Riddle beat Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship, so he's the United States champ. I know a lot of people are actually kind of wanting Bobby Lashley to get a title shot. Which
I've been saying that.
I'm not really a fan of his, but I mean, you already know. I'm all for black wrestlers getting some props. So
I'm not a big fan. I mean, I think that if Bobby Lashley wasn't such a fucking robot, then he would be more interesting.
I just don't like him because he's boring. But I also always have tremendous respect for guys who step into real combat sports.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? He's not bad in the ring. He's just really boring.
Yeah, he just he needs something.
Yeah, he needs stuff. But so
what's his record in MMA? Do you know?
He was good. He was a good MMA fighter.
Was his record better than like Brock? I mean, I'm sure it was definitely better than fucking.
I don't know if he had as many fights, but he had a good record. Like he was good, and he was good. So yeah, got that going on. Bianca Belair is gonna face Sasha Banks at WrestleMania for the title.
Strong
fire.
That's
I actually, I think that WrestleMania is gonna be 2 nights because WWE copies everything New Japan does, and I think that if they do that, I would actually like to see Bianca and Sasha Banks main event night 1 or 2.
Hell yeah.
I think that would be sweet.
Is this the first title shot between two? I'm sure maybe Naomi probably went against another black woman before, but certainly on WrestleMania, this is the first.
You might have something there.
The first title defense or the first title match featuring 2 black women.
You might have something there. I don't know.
Could be.
I have to look it up later.
I assure you that it's the first one that ever happened at WrestleMania.
Facts, though. Yeah. So yeah, man, that's what's going on with WWE. Then AEW. I mean, I think Revolution is next Sunday. If you wanna come through, man, watch it.
Of course,
you should. I'm gonna be coming back from Indiana. My son has an AAU tournament. In Indiana next weekend. So, but I should be back by the time Revolution comes on.
Cool.
So if you want to eat unhealthy and watch wrestling,
ooh, I got my treadmill.
Wings, dog. Let's do it.
Yeah, man. hey, Nav, I'm gonna bring some wings over for you and your family. Psych,
but
nope, I'm gonna eat them all.
Yeah, good times. That's how it goes. AEW Revolution coming up. Yo, Kenny Omega and John Moxley are about to have an exploding barbed wire death match.
Excuse me, bro. When they announced that shit,
have a Mortal Kombat.
Bro, I remember when they first announced that. I think it was either JR or Excalibur was like, "What the hell?"
Oh, you already know that's probably JR,
right?
But yeah, so that's crazy. But also, I mean, I'm a '90s Japanese wrestling nerd, so I kind of came up watching FMW, which was Frontier Martial Arts Wrestling, which was the promotion that Hayabusa came from. And I actually saw an exploding barbed wire match before. So yeah, I am assuming it's going to be crazy. It's not my thing, not my cup of tea.
Yeah,
I'm not really a hardcore.
It's gonna be bloody as hell and shit.
I'm not really a guy who. That's not my thing and never really has been. But Kenny Omega, let's go, man. Let's have a nightmare.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So Revolution looks like it's gonna be pretty dope. And then
bro, real quick, is Rey Fenix maybe the best wrestler ever? Kinda. Bro, this fool in terms of like just wrestling, like
right now
moves.
Right now, I think he's at this moment in time right now, I think he's top 5, one of the best in the world.
I would have to agree.
And the crazy thing about him, I've seen Fenix live before this. I actually met him like a bunch of times too. And I've been watching him since he was on Lucha Underground a few years ago. I don't know if I've seen a wrestler improve more
really
over like the last couple years. Like he's just really good. Like he's amazing. I always I love Pentagon too, but Fenix has like recently he's just kept.
Oh, bruh. I think and you know Jungle Boy, that's literally my family, right? I think Jungle Boy got a special place for him, but in terms of like and he's on a different, like Jungle Boy's still on the come up, right?
Dope.
But in terms of like the talent on AEW, I don't know if anybody got more, except for maybe like Kenny Omega and maybe Nick Jackson. Don't nobody got more like in-ring stuff than Fenix.
Fenix is,
you know
like,
what I'm saying?
He, like obviously he had the Kenny match earlier this year.
Crazy.
He had the match with Lance Archer last week.
Yeah, that was dope. He made Lance Archer look good.
Yeah,
and I don't like Lance Archer.
Right. He's on a tear right now where he's just having sweet matches after sweet match after sweet match after sweet match. So
he does really well as a single star too.
He does, but I mean Pentagon does too. You know what I'm saying? They both can. So I'm kind of hoping they let them run some singles.
Is Pentagon hurt? Was that
he might be? He could be. I don't know. I haven't seen anything on that, but he could be injured right now. But yeah, Ray Fenix been unreal the last like year. You know what I'm saying?
Also, just personally, that's one of the dopest wrestling names ever.
And
Ray Fenix.
And they're starting to like, you can tell they're starting to invest. Like he got the pyro now on the entrance.
They know what's up.
He got the sweet pyro. He comes out with that dope mask over his mask. He's got the kimono.
But Noveliss, he just a spot monkey.
Here we go. Yeah, look, man. I'm a pro wrestling purist. I want to see the sweet stuff.
Me too.
Okay.
You guys want to go back to Arn Anderson putting y'all niggas in headlocks for 40 minutes? Like, sure.
Look,
like,
I don't have a problem with like limb work and build up, but like I'm never gonna not like this. Give me the guy with the sweet mask and the cool look doing the sweet stuff.
Right. I want this nigga to jump off the fucking top rope and do 100 front flips and kick somebody's teeth out.
Do you remember when he did that like springboard destroyer to the outside of the ring?
Oh my God. What the fuck? Yeah, man. That shit is crazy.
That was ridiculous.
Nope. Only rest holds and ankle locks and scoop slams. The most high octane move you'll get is a fucking
back body drop, dog.
Or not even that. A fucking a fisherman suplex for the pin. That's the most high. That was like the fucking that was everybody's finisher in WCW. Is some sort of like fisherman suplex with like the bridge or like the hook pin. Hey man,
that's look, like I said, I'm a wrestling purist. I love old wrestling. I love wrestling from the 80s. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat is
but he was like athletic.
He was
bro, y'all athlete. This is the shit I don't get, bro.
He was awesome.
Y'all act like it's just the new niggas that do flippy. Bro,
for sure.
No, man, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat used to do flippy shit all the fucking time. He was one of the first flippy niggas.
He was cool. But no, I just think that now a lot of people, it's easy for there's obviously a big group of wrestling fans who just point to that stuff. And look, I already told you, I think that fans they don't like watching men do things that they physically can't do themselves. And it makes them feel some type of way about it. And they're just like, oh, that's not wrestling. That's gymnastics. You know what I'm saying? Like WWE fans.
Gymnastics is cool.
Right.
That shit's dope. Like,
WWE fans hate on Ricochet all the time.
Right.
But yeah, Ray Fenix, crazy good right now.
Also, just a quick side note, niggas that want to talk shit about gymnastic niggas, go look at a picture of a male gymnast. Them niggas is in shape,
right,
bro. Like, they are some of the best athletes on the planet. Crazy. They will all fold you into a pretzel and put you in their back pocket, and that'll be the end of it.
Twice.
Right. Those guys are machines.
For sure, man. Ray Fenix does this move. You know, out of all the crazy moves he does, I think my favorite move he does is when somebody's in the corner, he runs and he jumps off the turnbuckle and does that spinning kick, roundhouse.
Look, if I was a wrestler, that would be my finisher, bro.
I love it so much.
That is such a fucking cool move, man.
And he's been doing it for a long time too.
Yeah.
But he's so good right now. Definitely, he's one of my favorite wrestlers right now. And
no doubt.
Like I said, I think he's top 5 on the planet right now.
Mine too.
So yeah, bro. Also, and then just real quick, New Japan, they had Castle Attack this weekend. Of course, I woke up at 3:00 in the morning.
Hey, well, actually,
so I mean, it was good. You know, it wasn't nothing crazy. I was really excited about the Bushi Naito match and maybe them doing like an Intercontinental storyline with Naito, but nope. He lost. The match was awesome, but he lost. Ibushi won, so it's looking like they're gonna unify the Intercontinental title and the IWGP title and just make them one belt, which kind of stinks, but whatever. So Ibushi won. Show was cool. Tanahashi beat Great Okan, which I'm kind of really getting into Great Okan's little gimmick, man. I think
what does he do? What's his
just
gimmick?
Weird.
Hey man, I'm say less. I'm good.
It's hard to describe. Like you have to see it.
Like Shinsuke weird or like creepy kind of.
All right, let me think of who he reminds me of. Who is my man from Street Fighter? What Street Fighter is that?
Rolento?
Yes.
The dude, like the beret dude with the.
I think that's his name.
Or who are you talking about? Garuda, the guy?
No, not Rolento.
The American dude that wears the Japanese like football armor.
Nope, that's not him.
And the Shogun mask.
No.
I know every Street Fighter character ever.
I'm trying to think.
Necro?
Yes.
The like white skin?
Yes, he reminds
Necro.
me of Necro from Street Fighter.
Bro, I literally know every single Street Fighter character ever.
See.
Oh, you mean the super obscure character from Street Fighter 5?
Right.
Necro, yeah.
So he's like, just his movements remind me of Necro, but his gimmick is like kind of like a creepy, weird, like emperor type of character.
Yeah.
So this is what
he looks like a Mongol, kind of.
Yeah, he's a crazy person.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
What was that? But like I said, man, I'm kind of digging his gimmick. So, but him and Tanahashi, it was a good match. Tanahashi is like the greatest wrestler of all time.
Yeah, man.
My man's like
refuses to age.
100 years old, and he still has good matches. It's nuts. But yeah, man. So Castle Attack was dope. That's what's going on in the world of wrestling right now. I know the homie, what's his name? Legoat James, is that his name?
Yeah, the young dog.
The young dog. He was asking me to kind of put him on some dope New Japan matches. So, yo, man, I'm just going to give you a match. I'm going to give you one match that you should check out right now, and I'll give you another one next week. Check out Kenny Omega versus Tetsuya Naito from G127. It's the finals. One of my favorite matches of all time, and one of the greatest matches ever. I always say that 2017, I think, is the best year in the history of pro wrestling. 2017.
Wow.
Crazy year in wrestling. So check that out, man. But that does it for the wrestling recap. All right, man, it's time. Let's go. It's WandaVision time.
WandaVision.
What episode was this?
Episode 8.
All right, man. What'd you think, man? Episode 8, WandaVision. Hey, if you guys are listening to the pod right now, if you have not seen episode 8 of WandaVision, spoiler alert. Did you get this spoiled for you?
No. No, I didn't.
He gives everybody those Samuel Jackson eyes. What's the name of that movie?
Snake Mode. Stares motherfuckerly.
Oh my goodness. Hilarious.
Hey, Omari, how about Wanda? Yeah, so what did I think? I thought it was fire, bro. It was a slower episode. It was a nice exposition dump where they kind of took you behind the scenes. They kind of explained from Wanda's or from Agatha's perspective, a little bit about her background, how this whole thing got started. There were a lot of kind of reveals in terms of here, I wrote a couple of down here. I like the reveal of Wanda already having powers before the Infinity Stone.
I like that as
really,
well.
really dope. So okay, look, man,
is she a mutant?
Right. That was the first thing I thought. Like perhaps But I think what's more likely is that she was like, I guess, just like in Doctor Strange, where there's magic. Right? Like, which is like science that we don't understand. Yeah. I imagine that she just had some connection with whatever
chaos magic.
Chaos magic.
Yeah.
And also, there's this, there's the Nexus, right? Her being a Nexus being a woman who, or like a figure who is the same in every reality. It also seems like and they also name dropped for the first time the Scarlet Witch, which I think they couldn't do until they bought Fox, because I think technically that was that name. Yeah, it was a mutant character, so they couldn't say it because they've never said Scarlet Witch until now.
So it was like the big
right.
Yep. Fox.
Yep. You guys, hey, you remember that word? Yep.
Open up.
Yeah. So what I think is more likely, is the possibility that the Scarlet Witch, because Agatha like knew of her, right? So maybe the Scarlet Witch is like
a legend,
or like a title, or like a reoccurring, like every couple of generations, there's a person born that like has a connection to all the multiverses and has like kind of untapped magic powers, or like a big, upside in terms of magic. Potentially you can go the mutant route there, but again, here's another thing that was a little bit disappointing, just because I'm such an X-Men head. I do think it was what we thought, bro. It was that, or is what I secondarily theorized, which is like not so fast on the Pietro. Is he from an alternate reality? Is that the actual Pietro from the Foxverse? I don't think it's that. Right. I think it was a tongue-in-cheek thing from the MCU saying, "Hey, we bought Fox, so stay tuned," which is cool. But I don't think that we're gonna get any mutant stuff anytime soon. Like, I still think that's probably a couple years away, which is a little disappointing, because I see an area that they can do it, and I want them, bro. I really want them. If they're gonna bring in the X-Men, they're gonna bring in because we're definitely gonna get the Fantastic Four before the X-Men, because you don't have to do mutants with them. You can just bring them in. But I want them to get the X-Men involved and fully fleshed out. If they choose to go the Secret Wars route, which I hope they do, you got to have the whole squad.
I still think they're going to do that.
And in order to have Secret Wars, you got to have Fantastic Four, because you need Doom. Right. So I think that we're further away from X-Men than I want. But again, I'm fine with that. As long as they do it right, I'm good.
Right.
What'd you think?
Yeah, I really like this episode, man. I'm always I'm a fan of things being of like new things being brought into the picture, and that can like make you go back and watch something with a different perspective now that you know things that you didn't know at the time you saw it the first time. If you go back and watch, you can watch Age of Ultron, you can go back and watch the older MCU movies, and you can watch them in a different light, especially from with everything that you now know about Wanda. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I liked it. I thought it was cool. Obviously them hinting at her having powers as a kid. I think that was dope. Like I said, mutant maybe. I don't know. Also, man, the reveal of White Vision at the end.
Yeah, that was really dope.
That was really dope.
That it's setting up for a horrifyingly sad ending, because the White Vision is like has none of the memories of the humanity of the original Vision.
Right. And also I think that so now that we know, also like just kind of seeing these things from Wanda's perspective is crazy, because yes, it was like years, right? But for her, all this stuff happened in like a span of like a couple weeks.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Literally, all this stuff happened to her in a span of like a couple weeks, man. Like, her losing her brother, and the Sokovia thing happening, and then like
Vision dying twice,
dying 2 times,
once by her hand and another by Thanos.
So it's pretty.
Yeah, you get to relive
Crazy.
her trauma, and it's legit. I mean, it's some horrifying shit she had to deal with.
Yeah, and then seeing how the hex kind of got started,
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was dope. And so, do you think that Vision? Because remember, he tried to escape, and it was like eating him up. Do you think he can exist outside of it, or no?
Well, it remains to be seen. I don't know if that's really Vision, right? Like,
Word.
we because that was another major reveal is that Wanda didn't steal Vision's body.
Yeah.
Vision is still, he was dismantled and reassembled, and now he's the white Vision, right? The kind of blank slate Vision. Here, okay, so I think what's happening is that she is recreating a image of Vision that she like holds dear, but then again, that version of Vision had like free will to some extent because he started to question Wanda, right? So like,
Right.
I'm wondering if she was able to like recreate part of the Mind Stone that like held some of his consciousness in it. I think what may happen at the end, or maybe in a couple, in like maybe at another movie, is that the Wanda version of Vision is gonna, because that's what happens in the comics, is that they're like Vision regains his humanity and gets his color back.
Right.
And I think something like whatever version of Vision that Wanda created is going to end up maybe fighting with White Vision, and we'll end up recombining with him, and we'll have Vision back. I'm really starting to realize that Paul Bettany as Vision is one of the best characters in the MCU. Like he
really is.
He really owns that character.
Great
bro.
actor.
Yeah, he's a great actor. Bro, there was one scene that I'll never forget, and I think in Age of Ultron, which is where he got his first like appearance, where he's sitting and he's talking about the Sokovia Accords, and he's, you know, the group is trying to figure out if it makes sense or not. And this nigga Vision is a robot, by the way, who was just born recently, goes and sits down
Right.
and like crosses his legs and like gets like this professorial stance and just breaks it down for them niggas like super matter of fact. And I thought like, bro, this dude is like James Bond, but like a super robot version. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Vision. I always like Vision in the comics too, because I thought his power set was dope. He's sort of like a robot version of the Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
If y'all are DC fans,
He's pretty. Yeah, I always thought he's dope too. For sure. So what happened in the comics? Isn't it the government gets him? They kind of decide that he's like too powerful and they dismantle him, and they kind of rebuild him back up.
Similar
the White
thing.
Vision.
Yep.
But is it somebody controlling the government when they do that, or
Maybe that part I don't remember. There's a part of the Vision story.
This is a West Coast Avengers story, I think.
Yeah, it is. So, but there's a big part of that. There's a big part of the comic version of Vision arc that's missing from the MCU, and that's Wonder Man.
Yeah, for sure.
Because for those that don't know, the original Vision, I forget who created the body. It might have still been Ultron.
I think it was
Ultron that created the body.
Yeah.
But they took, or was it the core? It might have been the bro. I think what it is, and I could be getting my comics mixed up, but I think the original Vision was the corpse of the original Human Torch that was like a robot. I
don't remember
the Human Torch from like the 1960s. It wasn't Johnny Storm. It was an actual robot.
Right.
And I think that Ultron like got a hold of that robot and re-engineered it into Vision, and then took the consciousness of Simon Williams, is that his name?
Yeah, Wonder Man.
Of who had died, and implanted it into the robot that was Vision, and that's why he became like humanoid.
Yeah.
In the MCU, it's Jarvis, the AI that kind of takes the place of Wonder Man.
Right.
Isn't Wonder Man also somebody's brother or cousin? Is it like Carol Danvers' relative or something like that?
I don't know. I know Wonder Man has good and bad history. Like there's times where he actually works with Masters of Evil.
Mm-hmm.
But only because I think Tony Stark like ends up. Don't Tony Stark like shut his company down or something?
Yeah.
Some jerk move like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, back in the old Super Nintendo Avengers game, It was you could be White Vision on there, and then Wonder
bro.
Man was like an assist character.
Thank you, Wonder Man.
he would come up here.
At the end of the first level,
Yeah,
bro. I remember
bro.
that shit. And then Captain America was here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Wonder Man.
And then on the second level, Quicksilver was the sister guy.
Yep, bro. That was a fucking awesome game.
Quicksilver. Yeah, bro. I remember. Good times. But yeah, bro. I thought this episode was dope. I loved it. I'm excited for the next one, man. I wonder what is going to happen next. I think there's a big scrap about to happen between Wanda and Agatha Harkness.
Yes.
And I mean, hopefully Photon, hopefully we get some Photon stepping in. And I don't know. We're gonna see what's gonna happen with the government, with the government vision.
Yeah.
and
Colonized Vision.
yeah, we're gonna see what's gonna happen with colonized vision and cultural vision.
I'm just fact checking myself about the original body of the
okay.
Human Torch, and I think that I was right.
Okay, boom. Well, actually,
Hey,
Deep
well,
cut.
actually,
that was deep.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Hey,
I'm
man.
super excited to see Proton in action. I'm also excited to see, we got one episode left to see if that engineer friend is going to be Blue Marvel or not.
Yeah, but like you said, man, if you're gonna do the character,
Got to do him big,
gotta
man.
do him big.
This nigga is a black Superman character, so
Come on
let's
now.
not mess around here.
I agree. So yeah, man. Shout out to the homie Rails in the Discord. He kind of was wanting us to talk a little bit about the PlayStation State of Play, man. It was some pretty dope reveals, man. I thought it was good. I checked it out.
Yeah.
One thing the thing I think that everybody, I don't know about everybody, but that I took away from it the most was this Sifu game that's coming out this year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that shit looks incredible, man. I remember I texted that shit to you.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about it, but I saw the trailer. I think actually one of the Discord homies posted the trailer.
Okay.
And I was like, bro, huh?
Yo.
What's that?
That's the same reaction I had. This game looks amazing.
Yeah.
The hand-to-hand fighting looks ridiculous, and it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
It's not the
Right. There's none of that. It's
just
like
meat.
right, bro. It's like hand forcefully on flesh. You know what I'm saying?
That's what the hits sound like.
Also, I read that they do something really interesting. The reason why it's called Sifu is that there's some mechanic when you die, like you like age and become the master.
Wow.
Or some shit like that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So die on purpose then to
Right, to
be the
get
master.
sweet.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. I can't wait to play that. That was definitely my favorite. But they did they had showed another game. It's called Knockout City, and it's like a dodgeball arena like battle looking game.
That sounds
And
hilarious.
it looks pretty awesome. Like
okay.
almost like customize your character type, like throwing flaming dodgeballs.
Bruh,
and,
I'm here for it.
yeah, I thought it looked pretty fun, man. Like
Yeah.
it just kind of reminded me of like back in the day, like a Nintendo 64, like
Hell yeah.
4-person fusion frenzy type.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
When you described it, it reminded me of that game from Neo Geo, Windjammers, that
I
frisbee
know
game.
what you're talking
Bro,
about.
that game was cold, dog. I remember watching that shit. I remember playing that shit in the arcade and being really blown away at a frisbee game. Like, yo, this is some of the coldest shit I ever played. And it's-
Extreme.
right. Niggas
Yeah,
used
bro.
to throw flaming frisbees at each other.
I thought it looked pretty dope. And then another thing that really stood out to me that we were talking about earlier was the Solar Ash, man. That game looks awesome too.
Yeah, bro. Shout out to my homie LO5. He is a singer, songwriter, rapper, producer, audio engineer, and now a video game programmer, as he is one of the guys that's working on that game.
That's nuts.
Which is really, really dope. So shout out to you, bro. Proud of you. Can't wait to play that shit.
That's crazy. Then I thought that looked really dope. They talked about I'm not really into Five Nights at Freddy's at all. That's
me
like
neither.
my kid likes it, but then they showed some Oddworld stuff. Not into that either. But another thing I thought looked incredible was the Kenna Bridge of Spirits game.
Yeah, bro. That
looks like a Disney movie.
Yeah, it looks like a mix between Zelda and like a Pixar film.
Yeah,
which is like
incredible.
I can't imagine a better combination of two things.
It looks like incredible graphics. It looks like it got a dope story. So I'm probably gonna check that one out too.
No doubt.
When it comes out. And then obviously they talked about the Final Fantasy remake being on PS5.
Yep.
So
probably gonna have to cop that.
Yeah. So yeah, how is PS5 going for you?
It's going well. The thing that happened that I thought would happen is that you eventually run out of games since the shit just came out, right?
Yeah.
Like it came out only a few months ago. So, and there are games that I haven't played, but I'm not about to play every single PS5 game.
Right.
But there are a couple of games around the corner that's gonna keep me occupied. But I'm glad that and also like it's still impossible to find, which I'm just glad I got out ahead of it. Some pretty lucky there for sure. But I'm enjoying it. Yeah,
man. So that's what's up. I'm still playing PS1. So so real quick, bro, give me something that was before your time.
Mm-hmm.
So something old that you got into and that you really like, and how did you get introduced to it?
Well, that could be a lot of different things, but the thing I'm going to focus on, because it's probably one of my biggest fandoms, is without question Star Trek.
I knew it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, right? Like I'm the youngest Trekkie ever.
You are, seriously. If you go to a con, all the Trekkies are like
in their 50s and 60s, right? But I don't, because there's new Star Trek out now, but I watch like the Next Generation, like with Picard and Deep Space Nine with Cisco. Like these are late 80s, early 90s boys. So at the time, I was like way too young to give a fuck about the shit. I watched now before you. Well, actually, goddamn. Before you mentioned the original series, like I watched it, but it sucks, and so therefore I'm not interested. Right? Like everybody says that's, and actually, what I found out is that real Star Trek fans actually agree that it sucks. But it's just legendary, right? It just is the thing that started it all. So you put some respect on it, but then you laugh at it because it was kind of silly and ridiculous. The stuff that came out afterwards, Next Generation, that whole Next Generation era is what made Star Trek special. And how I got into it, my dad was a Trekkie. And so, I would watch, that was like primetime television. They would watch like the Next Generation, Deep Space Nine. And at the time, I just kind of was in the room. I just happened to be in the room with my parents. My dad was really fascinated with Data. He thought he was a great character. And, I really didn't get it at first. I won't lie. I didn't get it. I like received all of it, but it didn't really mean a whole lot to me. I was way more interested in Star Wars at the time because it was for kids. Then when I got to college and I discovered that I could like download shit and watch it on my own, I was in the right headspace to take in what Star Trek was doing. And I'm like, oh, wait. So I was just like, you got to adjust your sensors to say it the way that they do in Star Trek. Cause I was a little kid. I was used to action and lightsabers and stuff. Nah, man, ain't none of that in Star. Like you might get one or two phaser fights every couple of episodes, but these niggas was out here solving problems and like, and calling meetings and like techno babbling, right? And fucking trying to goddamn fix the warp core manifesto and. Get a new, check out the subspace readings and all kinds of like techno babble that is boring for a little kid. But when I got to the point where I was able to actually follow the storylines, I was like, wait a minute, this shit fire. Like this shit is, and then like it's always been really, really progressive as well, right? So, you got Deep Space Nine, which, I've talked about that at length. That's probably my favorite TV show of all time. Shout out to Benjamin Sisko, Avery Brooks. The character or the actor who played him. Right. God damn it. It's also super progressive, bro. Like there's one, and without patting themselves on the back, right? Like I'm an ally to all of these causes. I get frustrated with white Hollywood sometimes because they pat themselves on the back anytime they make any sort of comment around whether it's LGBTQ, whether it's black or brown folks, right? Like they like kind of take a moment to admire their work. Like, look at me, I'm Hollywood and I'm woke, kind of. Like, I appreciate it, but also shut up and get out of the way. Like, get some black people in that writing room.
Move.
Right. But Star Trek did a really good job of that without being. So there's one episode, without going into a super long story, there's one character who has she's a symbiote. So like, she has a entity that lives inside of her that's passed on from one host to another. So in a previous life, she was a man. Her name was I'm gonna lose some Star Trek points here. Curzon Dax, and that was Benjamin Sisko's like mentor, and Curzon Dax was also like really cool with the Klingons. So after he died, his it's a worm. They call it the Trill, was passed down to another host, which was a female, and she became Jadzia Dax. And so she met with one of Curzon's old friends who was a Klingon. And if you're the symbiote, like the symbiote is the thing that's alive, right? So you like keep the memories of all of the hosts before you.
Okay.
And so the Klingons knew that Jadzia or that Dax was in a new body now, but they didn't know at the time that it was a female body. And so when the Klingons like greeted her, like, oh, hey, Curzon, my old friend. And Jadzia was like, no, I go by Jadzia now. And then he just, like, without missing a beat, without like being like, oh, you're a woman now? Like, without even saying shit, he was like, oh, and he just immediately changed he corrected himself and said, hey, Jadzia, my old friend, and gave her a hug, right? So, like, that was a really small moment. It was really, really small. Nobody even noticed it. But what that was like a really pro-trans, pro-LGBTQ stance without coming out and being like, hey, right, look. Without like, shining hey, look at how inclusive we are. Like, bro, people like this exist, and you shouldn't, like, they exist in the world, and this is how you navigate with them in this space, right? You adjust, you recognize, you respect, you adjust, you show the same love, and you keep it moving. So Star Trek does things like this all the time, in a way that I think is really dope. And now I'm a Star Trek fan for life, bro.
Boom.
And I'm way too young to be as into Star Trek as I am, but whatever.
I love it. Nice.
What about you?
So I'm gonna go with like old wrestling,
90s wrestling, 90s 80s. Japanese wrestling.
I'm gonna say 80s.
Oh, okay.
I would say 80s wrestling only because that's like way ahead of my time.
It is.
Like 90s wrestling. Yeah,
we were here for some of that.
We were here for some of that. I would have to say like 80s, man, like 1980s, like WCW, old 1980s WWF stuff. And the way that I got into it, and I mean, obviously, I love wrestling and I've loved it for a long time. But I got into like old 80s wrestling, and it really helped me kind of. I feel like the reason I love wrestling so much is because I have like pretty extensive old school knowledge, right? So I can appreciate the sweet stuff, right? The new stuff, but I can also appreciate, the older stuff too. And the way that I really got on it was because when I was a kid, I talked about this before. Every Friday, my mom would let me and my brother go to Blockbuster, and I would always rent a movie, and he would always get a game. And I used to rent a wrestling video every Friday, and it drove my brother nuts. And I just remember, and I would just rent them just kind of based off what the cover looked like, you know what I'm saying? And then, and I would always rent, I would rent some old stuff, but it was usually 90s stuff, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't going back that far yet. And then what happened was Ric Flair would always be on WCW, and I used to just be like, yo, like, get this old dude with this white hair, get this dude out of here. He's so old, you know what I mean? And then I remember my stepdad would always be saying how dope he was in the 80s, and I'd just be like,
sure,
okay,
whatever you say,
right? You know what I'm saying? So I literally checked out an 80s tape because I wanted to see if Flair was good. So I remember going there to get an old 80s tape, and I remember renting just so randomly rented Chi-Town Rumble 89, I think. And that was when Ricky the Dragon Steamboat beat Flair for the title. And the match is awesome. It's one of my top 5 favorite matches of all time. And I remember just being like, yo, Flair was good, but who's this dragon dude? You know what I'm saying? Like, who's this dragon guy? So then I was just like, yo, this dude is like, he's awesome. You know what I'm saying? And so then I remember going back. And then what I did after I saw that tape was I was like, all right, you know what? I'm just going to rent every WrestleMania ever. So then I started literally at WrestleMania 1. And then I rented WrestleMania 2. And then I rented WrestleMania 3, dog. Macho Man versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat at the Pontiac Silverdome.
Let's go.
There was like 1 million people there, bro.
Yeah.
I think even now it's the biggest.
Yeah, the biggest like indoor event ever or something like that.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was so many people there. But even that match, like it was. So I was renting these old tapes.
Bro, Vince McMahon made so much money off that fucking shit.
He probably he's like Mr. Krabs. He probably like put it in a blender and drank it or something.
Right.
Give me a money cocktail, a money smoothie.
Give me a money vaccine shot just right into my veins.
Of course I'm not sick. I got money flowing through my body.
Right.
But yeah, man. So I rented that, and I just really started love Ricky the Dragon and just old like 80s wrestling. Like that's kind of my comfort food. You know what I'm saying? Like if I can't sleep, you know, at night, like I usually turn on like old wrestling, you know what I'm saying? And I just chill and watch it. So definitely old wrestling. Shout out to Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I got to meet him, man, and it was amazing. I completely nerded out too. I felt like an idiot. Like I was with my brother, and I was like, yeah, man, I'm about to, you know, I'm gonna ask him this and I'm gonna ask him this, because usually I've met a lot of wrestlers and I always ask them a question when I meet them. You know what I'm saying? I always ask him a question. I usually try to have one question that I ask him when I meet him. And I went to meet Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and I was literally just like,
"Yeah,
you're such a good wrestler." But yeah, bro. So shout out to old wrestling. But what are we doing now?
I just learned that Jeff Johns, the comic book writer, is from Detroit. I had no idea.
That's dope.
He's pretty good too. I like him. He mostly does DC stuff, but I like some of his stuff.
He's from Detroit. Hey man, it's time for, we're gonna add this kind of a new section, right? So maybe this will get more people into the Discord. Hey man, we are about to just kind of
hey man,
use of the new drop. We're about to get into like a Discord Q&A kind of, man, because these are our homies. These are some good people, man. We always talk about how positive the Discord is. Good energy in there. We're about to just kind of see if they got any questions. You know, we answer some questions from our Discord people and kind of see what they want us to talk about. If they got any questions they want us to answer.
Yeah. Cool. So do we want to we're going to ask them right now? Okay, boom. Noveliss is writing.
Oh, you can pull it up on the screen.
Yeah, I got it up there.
That's fire. A couple of questions were asked earlier, but I'm sure
you should tag everyone.
Oh yeah, at everyone.
Yeah.
Me being the not tech savvy one. But I know for sure there were some that were asked earlier. Here's a good one. 2 things you'd tell your younger self. What would you tell your younger self?
I would tell myself to lock.
Jer. I don't know. I think that's the name.
I mean, it's a bunch of things, bro. I would tell myself to not ever work at that job, and you'll know the one.
Word. So assuming we're going back in time, like what age do you think you would want to get to yourself to tell these things to?
I think anything before I graduated from college would be totally irrelevant.
Word.
So like I want to go back to 2009, right as I stepped foot out of Oberlin College.
Okay.
Like, just, hey, stop. I know you think you know everything.
Doing? What you doing?
You don't know shit. Shut the fuck up. So I can't just pick two. I'm gonna pick a couple. One would be to don't think that this music shit can't be your job.
Right.
That's probably the biggest one because I
love that.
But I'm glad that I walked the path that I did because it opened up a lot of doors. It allowed me to build a financial base that has helped me build my studio. It helped me learn a lot of positive skills. It cost me, like I lost a couple of years of like music development, but persevered, you know what I'm saying? Made good relationships. I made good relationships when I was in it, like hardcore. That's when me and Nah first met, me and Doc Illingsworth, like me and Chris Orick, like all these folks that went on to really do a lot of stuff. And I still mess with these guys heavy now. So I was able to get back in right where I left off, which was lucky. But imagine what you could have accomplished if you had just made that your job, right? Like just decide that that's your job.
Right.
The other thing that I would have done, this kind of twofold, bro, like your metabolism is going to betray you quicker than you think. It's going to happen faster than you think, goddammit. And also, bro, lock your hair sooner. Lock your hair like when because I didn't want to get locks when I was in college, but I should have. Like, hey, man, go get locks. So you know you want them. Just do it now because I'm holding on right now. You know what I'm saying? Hairline doing okay, but, you know, and who knows what'll happen in the next decade or so. So I think I'm going to be able to hold on. They say that let me not even, I'm not even going to put nothing into the, knock on wood, I ain't going to put nothing into the atmosphere. We're doing fine right now. So let's just keep it where it is.
There we go.
What about you? What are the two things you would say?
Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. I would definitely, I would stop. I would need one.
Hold on, real quick. Let's address this right now. There's Joe is always trying to talk some shit. He started, who would win between you or me in a game of 21? And the answer is whoever gets the ball first because neither one of us is missing.
Facts.
That's it. God damn it. You know what I'm saying? Neither one of us is missing. So
both
it's
shoot bloody
whoever
cash.
So coin toss.
So facts.
Right.
100%.
All right, go ahead. My bad.
So I would definitely, so sticking with the time frame that you gave, right? I would get to myself walking fresh out of college, thinking I know everything, just kind of, and at this point in my life, I was getting close to the man that I am now, right?
Mm-hmm,
but I wasn't, I would say in terms of just my mindset on some stuff, but not everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think I would catch myself and I was starting to grow my hair out, you know what I'm saying? But I think I would, the first thing I honestly would do is grab myself and just say jujitsu now. You know what I'm saying? And then
before Wing Chun?
See, that's tough because you know what? Maybe not even that. Maybe just see, I wish I would have got to myself. I would go to myself when I was younger, actually. Maybe high school and tell myself not to stop training because high school was my time where I was only doing basketball and I kind of stopped doing karate and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if I could get to myself younger, I would say that. But sticking with your time frame, I definitely would, even though I started doing Wing Chun first, I would probably tell myself about jiu-jitsu just to think about it and just to know what it was. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then definitely I started eating super healthy when I was probably a few years, like maybe a couple years out of college. And I think if I could get to myself in college and just be like, hey, stop eating waffles with ice cream on them for breakfast. I know you're in amazing shape right now, but guess what?
It's gonna get harder.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna get a little tougher. And then another thing, a third one I would tell myself is just like, same as you, bro. Like, bro, you can totally make music your career. Like, so put more time and effort into it now. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't, before I started really, doing my own stuff. Like when I was, just kind of doing things with my group, I was not as invested as I should have been. You know what I'm saying? I was just kind of showing up and just kind of writing a verse and being in a group, it didn't require my full, it just didn't require everything that I had. And I would definitely tell myself to apply myself more with music. So there's that.
All right, we should go rapid fire here because we got a million questions again.
Boom. Oh, sweet. Oh, wow. Okay, go ahead. Just pick one.
What made y'all start a podcast?
Oh, man. What? I hate talking. And I don't talk ever. And me and Hero, I talk to Hero more than anybody. And he just used to be like, man, we should do a podcast.
Bro, we would just, when we started recording together, we would literally spend the first 2 hours just talking about whatever. And so we would just do the podcast anyways.
Literally.
With nobody listening.
We would literally just do the podcast. And the first episode was literally like a crapshoot. Like it was like, let's just record us actually just literally talking.
Yeah.
And see if it works. And it ended up working. So
here's one. This is Rails from SwordCast News. I've always wondered, what do you think your best...
This is Rails from SwordCast News.
I've always wondered, what do you think your best project is, you and Hero? For me, it's my last project, which is Emissary. It's the kind of the comp... It's when I finally put a sound together where I was mixing in some Detroit hip hop, obviously some jazz, some live instruments, some house, obviously big Daft Punk influence, some electronic music, all into one thing that niggas ain't never heard. Like niggas ain't never heard that shit before.
Right.
Niggas. I mean, look, everybody's dope, Hero's dope, but cats ain't making beats the way I am. Like they're just not. So
I feel you.
What about you?
Oh man, that's such a hard question. I think my best, if I had to say my best, I think Sword of Nature is my best project. Just the sound, the quality, the beats, the rhymes, the subject matter. It's a sound that really don't exist for real. You know,
bro, we made a genre, bro. We created a genre.
We created a genre. I think that's my best. I think the project that probably means the most to me is probably Cerebral Apex because that's the project that I was able that made me quit my job. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's the project that really kind of went crazy for me and really just kind of showed me like, yo, like you can do this, man. Like you'll be all right if you walk away from your job. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And then like Metal Face Okage is just one of my favorites because it's just like some gritty hip hop stuff, and I really love that project too. And then, I mean, I love all my projects, man, but that would be my answer to that. Of
course. Also, I always do this. I need to back down off a little bit of classic Hero arrogance a little bit. I mean when I say that I had a moment where I think I may have told this story before. When I mentioned being in and out of music because of career paths, right? I remember coming back to making beats, leaving from a place where like when I became a little bit inactive, like, and I say this full humility, like I was one of the best up and coming producers in the city of Detroit. Facts. Like in terms 100%. Of like young upstarts that like had next, I was definitely one of them. There's no doubt about it. I was one of them. When I came back, I felt like I had lost some momentum. I felt like, man, you know, because I got some feedback from one of my guys that like I didn't really receive all that well. I said he was like, yeah, man, like since you've been gone, like everybody is dope now. And he said something, and I was like, wait a minute, now hold on a second. And it kind of shook my confidence. So I went back and I, got into the lab. Me and Nav started working together properly. And then I kind of went back and listened to my shit like, wait a minute, bro. Like, it don't really, like, everybody else can be dope. Like, and these guys, like, Detroit has some of the best producers out there. Like,
word.
Period.
100%.
But then I realized, like, it kind of doesn't matter, like, how dope everybody else is, because Cat's beats they don't sound like yours. Like, nobody's making beats that sounds like yours.
Facts.
Other beats can be dope, and they can be just as dope. They can have their own quality, their own, like, their own shine, their own, like, polish, their own, veneer, but they don't sound like yours. And so you should take pride in that and be happy that you have a unique sound that like really can't, that like stands on its own. Right. And that gave me supreme confidence. And then I listened to Doc Illingsworth and I was like, wait, that nigga Doc's still cold. Doc is still the man.
I gotta check out Doc, man.
Yeah, man.
That
Doc is I always say that I went to the Doc Illingsworth School of beat making. That guy is amazing.
Fire.
All right, let's do a couple more here, or else we'll be on this shit all night. This is a good one. If you and Hero could choose a superpower, what would it be?
Oh man, controlling the elements.
That's a good one. I got a cheat. I've had so much time to think about
yours.
this shit. I got a cheat code, and I don't care what nobody say. This is the best power. Period. Like, if I had the ability to have a power, it would be to control space and time. Like. The reason why you don't see that in comics is because it's cheating.
It's literally cheating.
You don't see that in comics because it's no fun, right? Like, you stop time, you win. Period. That's all. That's the end.
That's cheating. Here's a good one. Chase GK20. He said, any anime series that you've watched that only had one season that you wished had another one? That's a good question to me, because a lot of one season anime, I think they're like perfect, and I don't want another season from them. Do you have one?
The first one that comes to mind is Shampoo, but that fits in that mold of like it's already perfect. But I can't help but wonder, like, okay, here's what I would want. I want to continue.
Like give me a spin-off.
Right. I want a continuation of a story in that world.
Word up.
And maybe you bring back Jin or Mugen in like a cameo role or something.
That would be dope.
It's like a side character.
Same here. Like, I would really, like I said, I'd take a Cowboy Bebop spinoff from Vicious perspective. I always say that would be dope. All right, boom. What's another good one?
What are some of your favorite comic book characters you usually don't? I don't understand that question. The second one, what are some of your favorite comics of characters you usually don't like? Okay. So a character that you don't like that had a good comic book run. That's dope. That's a good one. It is a good question.
Green Arrow, New 52. I had like picked it up just kind of because it was in my box at the comic book store, and I liked it when the New 52 dropped. And I was never really a Green Arrow fan. But until I kind of read that. So it was never one of my favorite characters, but that New 52 run of Green Arrow was like really good.
Bro, I don't really read comics of characters that I don't like. Right. So I don't know if I have a great answer for that.
I love this.
Yeah.
If you don't have an answer.
Yeah, go ahead.
Victor Von Doom. What lesser known comic book character would you want to see get their own TV show or movie?
Ooh. Static Shock's pretty known now, but definitely him. Moon Knight. Oh, he's getting
fire.
One. Fuck,
he's about to get one.
Okay, I got one. The guys from the Mojoverse, like Shatterstar and Longshot.
I was gonna say Shatterstar.
My bad.
That was mine. Mine would be Shatterstar. It would be Shang-Chi, but he's getting a movie, so mine would be Shatterstar.
Shatterstar,
such a dope character.
Longshot was also dope. I think isn't Longshot his father or like grandfather or something like that?
Somewhere like that.
Yeah.
That's dope. Oh, here's a good one from Rails. Favorite game you never beat or finished?
The Witcher. I still have not beat that game, dog.
I can't even look at that map. I played that game, and
it's
that map
stupid,
scares
dog.
me.
And here's the thing: there's 3 of them. There's 3 maps in that game that are all the same size.
Ghost of Tsushima has a big map, and it's literally
It's not even close, bro.
It's not even close.
It's not even
to the
close.
map on Witcher 3.
Yeah, The Witcher is too fucking big, man. What about you,
bro? For sure. Oh, Mega Man 04. I love those Mega Man Zero games, but they're the hardest games ever. Literally the hardest games ever. And the fourth one is awesome, but I never beat it. I beat the 1, 2, and 3, but I never beat the fourth one. So mine would be Mega Man 04.
Let's do one more
Ridiculous
here. You pick it.
All right. All right, let's do 2 because I love this question.
Okay.
By Boogeyman. What is your motivation in life and your escape? That's a great question.
My motivations were different when I was. Now my motivation is to live comfortably without stress.
Right.
Which I don't have kids. Like I have a dog who is close to a child. I've got a family, right, that is super important to me, especially in light of recent events. Like we've had a lot of tough shit that we've had to deal with. And so through that, like I've gotten to a point now where both my escape and my passion and my like drive, my motivation is to be at peace, right? That sounds like super hippy dippy, but that's hard, man. That's hard work and a tough path to get to like a place where you feel at peace, right? So
100%, man.
Whether that means being out of debt, being comfortable with your career situation, with your financial situation, with your family situation, with your relationship situation, with your familial situation, right? Like being freed of like things that are causing you to, like undue stress. And everybody's Facebook status is that, oh, I'm getting rid of things that don't serve me in 2021. Like, okay,
right.
Sure. But like to be on that path for real and understanding what that means is hard work. And like, martial arts can be a path towards that, right? Something that can center you. Music does it for me, like being with loved ones, being with family, especially now more because I've dealt with a lot of stuff, man. Like that's kind of where I'm focused. That's where I'm centered these days, is just being at peace and at like in like a safe space. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and that's also my escape. And usually it has something. Usually music is like the kind of art, like the fortress that I build out to keep me safe is that music, right? So that's part of it.
Right.
What about you?
Oh man, my motivation in life, I have kids, so definitely
Speaks for itself.
my kids, man, and my family, and really, just really trying to become the best version of myself that I could possibly be. My escape, definitely music and martial arts, and really just trying to find balance, man. I get pulled in so many different directions all the time. You know what I'm saying? Artist, martial arts, father, handling all the responsibilities of just being a dad and a man. You know what I'm saying? And just like you said, it's been some crazy last couple of years. No shows, no tours, man. Me trying to navigate, through this time and figure out, how I'm gonna continue to do this and without being able to tour and do shows and everything. And on top of that, being a teacher, at home all years, you know what I'm saying? So just really trying to just find some balance, man, and not let all these things get to me. So definitely martial arts and music are my escapes, and reading too, man. I like to read a lot. All right, for sure. Last question, okay? And I like this one. Real quick, man. 4 Ninja Turtles, rank them. Favorite to least favorite.
Oh man,
I'll go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Leo, Donnie, Mikey, Raph.
Yeah, I think I like Raph more than you do. I like the fact that he's flawed. I like the fact that he's crazy.
I mean, I like them all. I just
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't dislike any of them.
I don't dislike any of them, but if I had to rank them, that's how.
Okay, I think for me it's gonna be Leo, Raph, Donnie, Mike, and I love Mike, but like I just he's the one that I identify with the least.
I
will say.
But also, do you have a Ninja Turtle hot take? I think Mikey is very underrated, and I think it's because he's rarely put in a position to where he has to. But when he is, he gets down. He can get down.
Yeah, I think my my Ninja Turtles hot take is that Casey Jones has no business like being
like fighting ninjas,
right, like being on par with them
being
niggas.
Effective,
right? Like this nigga is just like a
100%.
He's just a guy that like played sports and is angry, and so
he can fight.
Right, like bro, nah,
ninjas that have been training under the
for their whole
Foot Clan
lives.
for
Like
their
hell
whole
nah,
lives.
bro. Like you shouldn't have any business involved in any of these affairs. Go home.
Go away, Casey.
Right. And I like Casey Jones in the movie. I didn't really like him much in the show.
Yeah,
I thought he was cool in there.
I feel that.
I don't know, he was white.
All right, man. It's time for You Can Only Pick 3.
All right, what we got?
What do we got? You can only, what does it say?
You can only poop 3. Okay. What do we got here? Oh,
Hey, man, you know,
what do you mean?
Talking about WandaVision, we got some sweet MCU movies up here. You can only pick 3 of them, Johns.
Shit. Oh, man. Okay, let's go. So we got.
Let's go.
Is this the first Iron Man? No,
That
yeah,
is
because
the
there's
first Iron Man.
Jebediah there.
Obadiah.
Jebediah Stane. Obadiah Stane. Right, exactly. And we got Black Panther. I mean, I have to. Obviously, that's my first keeper. I mean, come on. And it's gonna suck here because like I already like the movie, but now we done lost Chadwick. Man, rest in peace.
Man,
So I can't not pick that.
Have you watched it?
Hell
since?
no. I don't know if I
think I could either.
I'm not. You know, I've been doing enough grieving. I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Facts.
Speaking of grieving, now I'm thinking about Daft Punk again. God damn it! I'm gonna next podcast. I'll talk about Daft Punk. I'll give them
You got to.
a proper eulogy. And again, these guys aren't dead, but you know
That's your.
I'm telling you, man.
Inspiration,
My
man.
group. Anyway, so we got. Is this the first Avengers?
Yes.
Some of these are kind of hard to tell. Actually, no, the rest of them are
No,
pretty
they're not,
easy.
bro.
Yeah. It's just, yeah, you know, they're all. So then we got Captain America. This is Winter Soldier. Ooh, am I tempted to make this my second keeper? Maybe, but we'll come back to it. Man, in terms of like action, hands and feet, this is probably the best Marvel movie. In terms of just like straight action stuff, you know what I mean?
Scrap it out.
Yeah.
Let's fight.
And then here's another one that had a bunch of dope ass fights in that Civil War. T'Challa and Bucky were matched up the whole night, bro.
I love it.
Like they had.
Hey, T'Challa was giving him.
He did, and I fuck with Bucky, but that nigga T'Challa had his number
when he fought him without his suit on.
Hands up,
Work.
bro. And I love his fighting style too because it has some capoeira mixed in there.
Good, man.
Really, really dope.
So good.
All right, then we got Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm also tempted to make this my second keeper because I really think Guardians of the Galaxy is it's underrated in my opinion.
The
one of the
first
best.
one is fire.
Super, super good. Then we got Thor Ragnarok, which is also really good. Man, these are all great.
I purposely didn't put any.
Okay, then we got Infinity War, and then Endgame. I don't need to go into details. Everybody on Earth knows what all these movies are about, so we don't need to do all that.
Boom.
I also think the first Iron Man is one of the best Marvel movies. Also,
Oh boy.
jeez, I'm having a hard time here. Okay, Black Panther.
Boom.
I got one.
Boom.
Need 2 more. I'm kind of stalling here because I don't know. Okay, I got one. Okay, I'm gonna go Infinity War, man. Infinity War was a spectacle of like momentous proportions that I didn't know if they could pull off, and they did. Infinity War was super duper well done. I really, really, and the first Avengers movie was great too. I really, really am looking at Winter Soldier though, like,
Hey.
and I kind of, man, like I had some complicated feelings around Winter Soldier because I don't. everyone is really quick to say that that's the best Marvel movie, and I don't know if I agree. A lot of people think so because niggas, it's the one with the most punches and kicks, right?
I mean, yeah, air combos, hello,
right, which is fine. But I wonder if, like, in terms of the film, I don't think it's better than like Endgame or not Endgame, Infinity War or even the first Iron Man. But the band of punches and kicks was really dope. So right now it's between Winter Soldier and Iron Man 1.
Okay.
Or Avengers. Fuck. Shit. Fuck, man. This is the hardest. I really don't, bro. I don't know. I gotta pick one, huh? All right. I can only pick 3. Can I pick 4 or I gotta pick 3? It says here I can only pick 3.
You can only pick 3. That's kind of how we do it every single time.
Okay, I forgot. I don't know the rules. All right, man.
Oh my god.
Dog, how do you do this? How? Okay, fine. It'll have to be Winter Soldier. But by like a fucking nose hair, bro. Like,
bruh.
Fuck. Yeah, it's gotta be. It's just too many hands and feet, and like this is the movie that made me like Cap. I was not a Captain America fan. Like I flat out didn't like Captain America at all. But this movie made me like him. The fights were really, really good.
On your left.
Right. Oh man. Getting the Bucky reveal.
Trouble Man soundtrack playing at the end. Have you ever heard that soundtrack?
Hell yeah, dog.
Amazing. Marvin Gaye.
Yep. I sampled that song in high school.
That's fire.
The beat was trash, but still. Yeah, man. It's just you get some of the building blocks of the MCU that like you can't be without in that movie.
Facts.
Yeah, definitely the best. It's definitely the best Captain America movie. Civil War was good too, but this one was better. So yeah, I'm gonna go Black Panther, Infinity War, and the Winter Soldier. What about you?
All right, man, let's go. First Iron Man movie, man, I remember it, love it. I remember going to see that, and me and my brother just being like, "Are they really about to?" Because the end credit scene was Agent Ross, I think.
Mm-hmm. Want to talk to you about the Avengers initiative,
and it was so dope. Black Panther, loved it. I love this movie so much, but man, that's the CGI. I thought they overdid the CGI a little bit in it, and it always just kind of bothers me. First Avengers, amazing, love it. Can't believe they pulled it off. Yeah. Like I said, people know these movies, man. We don't gotta say it too much. My first keeper is gonna be Winter Soldier. I love this movie, the fight scenes, Cap fighting Bucky doing the acrobatic knife work. Mm-hmm. This movie's awesome, and it just hits a pace after the first 30 minutes or so that just keeps going, and then obviously Cap on the Lemurian star at the beginning of the movie
Yep. That was a crazy fight scene.
Ridiculous hands.
Yo, one thing I do have to say though, if we see another movie do another knife routine where somebody drops the knife to catch it underneath.
Oh my goodness, I'm so
okay. That's almost as bad as every female character ever doing hurricanranas nonstop.
It's almost as bad as super kicks in wrestling.
Right.
All right. Then we got Civil War, which I love this movie. Was a little disappointed at some things disappointed me though. I love this movie and I love the way that Black Panther is portrayed in this movie, and that's what makes me love it so much. But like just little stuff like I didn't really like Zemo that much in this movie. I didn't like that he killed all the other Winter Soldiers that were made, because I thought that would have been a dope. I thought that would have been a dope idea for like one of the spin-off shows for them to track them down, because there's a Winter Soldier comic book series that's about that. So
yeah,
but I do love Civil War. Then we got Guardians of the Galaxy. Loved it. I didn't really care for the second one, but I love the first one. It's hilarious. It's a good movie. Thor Ragnarok, fire. Best Thor movie by far.
Bro, it's not even close, bro.
Was a little mad that they cut his hair though, not gonna lie. Then we got Infinity War. This is gonna be my second pick. My gripe with Infinity War is that Black Order was massively underpowered. But other than that, movie's amazing. Love it. That's gonna be my second keeper. Then we got in-game time travel. I mean, in-game. All right, so I got Winter Soldier and Infinity War. This is tough. I think my third keeper is going to be. Oh man, my third keeper is going to be Civil War. I mean,
Strong.
Black Panther. I still think this was his best representation here as far as like his fighting goes, and him just getting introduced and just. Ask you.
You think so, dog? You don't remember the casino scene from fucking?
Bro, I love it. I'm not saying I don't love that.
That's
movie,
one of the best fight scenes in the whole MCU.
I love this movie. I love the way that he was just brought in Civil War, bro.
Can't argue with that.
I do, and I just love the way that he was brought in Civil War. I love the chasing scene where he's on foot and he's
running down a motorcycle.
I loved it, man. Thought it was awesome. So I'm going to go with Winter Soldier, Infinity War, and Civil War, man.
Strong. Boom. This is a long one here today, but it was worth it. It's all good.
It's all good, man. All right, man, real quick. Let's get into this top 5 of the day, bro. We just sticking on the kind of the video games, we were talking about the state of play thing. What are your top 5 favorite video game sequels?
Strong.
Of all time.
Okay.
Sequels.
So I got a bunch, but I can only have 5. So my first, I got an honorable mention, and that's going to be Assassin's Creed Origins. I'm a really big Assassin's Creed fan. I could have did Assassin's Creed 2 or 3 as well. I know a lot of people don't like 2, or 3. But 2 was dope because you kind of opened up the world and you got to see all the sweaty sci-fi stuff that I'm really into. Assassin's Creed Origins was dope because they gave you a black Egyptian assassin who was one of my favorite characters ever.
Right.
Shout out to Bayek.
Bayek.
So yeah, that's my honorable mention. So here's my number 5, bro. Puzzle. This is one of the greatest games ever, bro. You ever played Portal?
No.
So Portal is this puzzle game, but it's set up like a first person shooter.
Okay.
Where you have a gun, it's a portal gun, and you shoot 2 beams. One is a blue beam and an orange beam. So the blue beam opens a portal, and then you shoot the blue beam on one wall, and then you shoot the orange beam on another wall, and it bridges those 2 together. So you go in where the blue was at, and you come out where the orange was at. So like
wacky.
It's wacky, but it's also hella creative.
Okay.
And there are parts of it that are hard as fuck, and you are basically held hostage by this rogue AI who's doing tests on you.
What the hell?
And the tests are like, can you use this portal gun to escape? So that's the first game. The second game like takes it to a whole nother level.
Wait, what's this game called?
It's called Portal.
What system was this on?
It was on PC, but it was also on PlayStation, like every system, I think.
Okay.
You can download it off the whatever store, I'm sure. But yeah, so the second game, they take it to a whole nother level, and you learn all this crazy ass shit about the story, that the rogue AI used to be like a secretary, like a person, and you end up having to shoot a portal to the moon. And you transfer the rogue AI into a potato for one episode.
This game actually sounds amazing,
bro. It's wacky as fuck, and it's funny. It's like a darkly humor kind of joint. You learn that your father, you play a character named Shell. You learn that your father has gone crazy, and he's like somewhere in the walls, but you never actually see him. You just see like little drawings and shit that he left behind, bro. It's wild. You also find out that it's in the same universe as Half-Life, like the Half-Life games. Mm-hmm. Wild, really, really wild.
That's kind of sweet.
Yeah, it's dope. It's super. It's a fun game. Wild, ridiculous story. But number 4, this would be higher up on the list if it wasn't for some classics here. But number 4, I'm gonna go with Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Hey, let's go.
And yes, that is a sequel. It takes place directly after the events of the first Spider-Man game, or the Spider-Man PS5 game. So yeah, I mean, we've talked about that game at length. It's an absolutely amazing game. Doesn't really get no better than that. And then we have my number 3.
What we got?
I'm gonna go with Metal Gear Solid 5: Phantom Pain.
like it.
I mean, you could go with any Metal Gear Solid. You could go with Metal Gear Solid 3. That probably is most people's favorite, Snake Eater. I really liked Metal Gear Solid 5. Even though the game was incomplete, they in terms of the gameplay, the mechanics, they take it to a different level. Oh wait, am I not allowed to do that? Because it's technically a prequel, technically. Oh fuck.
Nah, you can do it, man. It's all good.
It's a little late now. But it's new information, right? Like you don't like know any of this stuff. And it's, man, anyways, Hideo Kojima at his finest, putting a whole bunch of wild and crazy shit together in a way that you would never expect, but somehow it all works. I want to really get into my top 2 here, man. My number 2 is an oldie but goodie, one of our favorites, Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Wow.
I mean, you already know this game is the best fighting game of all time. It's so much better, and I liked the first Marvel vs. Capcom, but it's like compared to Marvel vs. Capcom 2, this is like a whole different game. Like there's never been like more of a ridiculous, like a jump in quality between one game and the next.
I agree. This might be the biggest one ever.
Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was just absolutely incredible. Probably put the most hours into that game than any other game that I've ever played, maybe.
Yeah.
Me and my homie David Reeder, shout out to Dave, I know he listens to the podcast. We used to play this shit. Bro, I went over his house one day and we played this shit literally like from 9 o'clock at night until like 6 in the morning. Like nonstop. We played like 300 rounds or some shit like that. It was ridiculous.
Oh, man.
So shout out to Marvel vs. Capcom 2. We've talked about that extensively on the pod, but my number 1 we haven't talked about a lot, and you might find this surprising, but that it beat out Marvel vs. Capcom 2. But I got to go with Mass Effect 2.
No, I know you're a big Mass Effect fan.
Mass Effect is my favorite series of all time. It's just it's a space opera, bro. It's like, in terms of world building and lore, it's one of the greatest gaming universes ever. And that second, I love this Mass Effect 3 too, but that second game, bro, they just do everything they did in Mass Effect, but they just took it to the next level, man. Like you have to, you get your companions, you do their loyalty missions to keep them like happy, and get them on your side. And the reason why that shit's important is because at the end of the game, there's a fucking suicide mission.
Word. Holy
shit, bro. And you gotta like, and if you didn't do it right, like if you didn't get the right people involved, like your teammates will die. Like you have to, it's a suicide mission that requires you to like set the team up to, like you need a recon team to do this. You need a tech team to do that. You need a gun, like a biotic, like the people that have like the Mass Effect's version of the Force, essentially, to do this. You need your heavy gunners to do this. And if you don't set it up right, or if you like pick the wrong person to do a thing that they're not suited for, like them niggas will pass away. Like they will die. They will perish.
Right.
And if you it's possible for you to beat the game and you die as well at the end, right? Like
that sounds crazy.
Man, it's wild, bro. But when you do it, that's one of the most intense missions ever. When you actually pull that shit off, bro, and all your mans and them come back in one piece, man, what a great feeling. That's one of the best missions ever in any game. So good. Shout out to Mass Effect 2 and that suicide mission at the end. Can't wait for the Mass Effect Legendary Edition to come out so I can play that shit all over again. Boom. What about you?
Fire. All right, man. Quick question. Just need some verification here. Are we allowed? Are we considering Pokemon games as sequels?
Yes, because
the
Pokemon Silver is a direct sequel to Pokemon Blue and Red.
Right. But even still, like there are things that happen in the older games that carry over to the other generation games.
Yeah, I think there's in one of the games you see Red again. At some like battle something. But I would say yes.
All right, boom. Just needed to hear that. All right, let's go, man. It was hard for me to keep. I tried to only include one fighting game. I didn't want to, because I could literally do a list just of
all fighting games. Yeah, no doubt.
But let's go, man. Coming in at number 5, I'm going with Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2.
Holy shit.
Man, I love those old Knights of the Old Republic games. And the second one, that was my favorite game for a long time on the first Xbox, Nihilus.
Nihilus, that's right.
Such a sweet character design, such a sweet story. And I just miss those old Star Wars games, man, where you could create your character and the decisions you made determined your path, if you were going to be a Jedi or walk down the Sith path.
Hold on, dog.
Uh-oh.
I got a hot take.
Oh, boy.
I played and really appreciated both of those games.
Okay.
Story, best Star Wars story maybe ever. I thought the gameplay was kind of trash. I ain't really like that shit that much.
You crazy, man.
Because it was like half RPG, half kind of.
I mean, look, bro.
I don't know,
man.
dog.
I thought those games were amazing.
Give me a punch and kick button, please. Give me a lightsaber slash button so I can do that.
But I loved those games. That's gonna be my number 5. Coming in at number 4, I'm going with Mega Man 03. And I love the Mega Man 0 games. The third one is probably my favorite. The story was dope. This is where it starts getting a little dark. You get
cyberpunky, kind of
cyberpunky. You get to fight Omega, which was Dr. Wily's like greatest creation. This big giant Reploid robot thing. Just dope, man. Sweet game, sweet music, sweet storyline. This is where it starts getting a little dark, a little anime-esque. So I love Mega Man 03, so that's going to be my number 4. Coming in at number 3, I'm going with Miles Morales. One of my favorite games ever. Beat it twice all the way through so I could get that platinum badge. It's only the second game ever that I've platinum, next to, of course, my all-time favorite, Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima 2, by the way, confirmed.
Wow. That was awesome news. But yeah, man, Miles Morales, love that game so much. Literally beat it twice. It's fantastic. It's awesome. Shout out to Miles.
Absolutely.
Coming in at number 2, of course, the greatest fighting game ever made, Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Let's go.
I want to take you for a ride.
Bro, I was literally just about to say that shit.
I don't know if there, like you said, I don't know if there's ever been a quality jump in between games like that ever.
Yep.
So yeah, bro, that's my number 2.
Oh, maybe Grand Theft Auto 2 to Grand Theft Auto 3. That was pretty big jump.
But yeah, man, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, like I said, don't even need to say much. Love that game. Fantastic. But my number 1, look, man, Gen 3 Pokemon, best generation ever. I don't care what anybody says. Pokemon Sapphire, man. That's my number 1. Favorite Pokemon game ever. One of my favorite games ever. That's my number 1. I love it, man.
So, wait a minute. Pokemon Sapphire, the starters are who?
That's that's Torchic, that's
Mudkip and Sceptile.
I mean, if we're talking the evolved versions,
I don't remember what the baby ones
word.
were.
Yeah, that's Blaziken, Sceptile, and Mudkip, man.
Word up.
Ridiculous.
Blaziken, yeah.
Sapphire,
So,
Fire.
I always thought that your favorite...
Sapphire, Fire. You said what?
Wang Fire.
The name's Fire. Wang Fire. And this is my wife, Sapphire Fire.
I thought that your favorite
man.
was the one where Greninja was the starter.
I love that game.
That's
but
X and Y, right?
X and Y. I love that game, but Alpha Sapphire, that's my all-time favorite.
Boom.
I love the game where Greninja's the starter, but just the game itself, Sapphire is just better. And then like that's when
I remember I had that shit on Game Boy
Sapphire
Advance.
is fire, and then that's when Pokemon really started stepping up in a lot of different areas. As far as then you get Alpha Sapphire, which was the first ever 3D Pokemon game, and then which I believe so. I believe it's the first ever 3D one.
I think it was Pokemon Diamond and Pearl.
I think Sapphire was, bro. I think Alpha Sapphire was.
Because
Let's look it up.
I know for sure Diamond and Pearl was in 3D.
Yes, but Diamond and Pearl is also Gen 4. It's not Gen 3. Gen 3 is.
I know.
Well, you mean because it came out? Word.
So Diamond and Pearl.
Bro, I'm pretty sure Sapphire was the first.
The first version of Sapphire was not in 3D.
No, it was no. Heck no, it was on. I had that on Game Boy.
On Game Boy Advance, yeah.
I had Game Boy Advance SP.
Diamond and Pearl came out that's Generation 4, I believe, right? That came out in so you didn't see Alpha Sapphire or Alpha Sapphire.
Alpha Sapphire came out in when did that game come out?
It was like in 2014, bro. It came out.
No, it's not that old. It came out pretty recently.
What are you? I'm not sure which game are you saying is the first one that's in 3D?
Alpha Sapphire.
What kind of 3D are you talking about? Are you? Because I think we just might disagree on what we consider to be 3D. Because I promise you that Diamond and Pearl was in 3D. It was like this. Does that not count as 3D?
Yeah, it counts as 3D. You might be right. I could be wrong.
It wasn't like what we have now. It was like this. It was like 3D, but still with sprites. You know what I'm saying?
Word up, yeah. I mean, no, bro, you could be right, but all I know is that Pokemon Sapphire is definitely my favorite one ever.
Super duper fire.
I mean, it's just. And I do love, don't get me wrong, bro. Like, I love Pokemon XY. That's the one that Greninja's in. He's my favorite Pokemon. But just in terms of, like, things, I just really think that Gen 3 is when Pokemon really started, like, stepping up. Like, the sprites popped on the screen, like, so much better than they had ever done before. The startup screen was fire. I remember that.
I love the sound or the startup screen like jingle was really dope.
It was dope. And then also I want to say this is the first time ever where you had like 2-on-2 battles. You know what I'm saying? I think that was the first time they did that. And this is also like I think this is where they brung in. There's so much, bro. Like I think this is where they introduced natures too.
Yeah.
I think that's when they introduced natures, and then also like the abilities, like Pokemon having different abilities, and you could get some that had, you know what I mean? Like this is where
it opened up the metagame.
Gen 3 is when I started to really pay attention to some of the metagame. Now, I was still a little young at the time, but this is where I really got into it and started like getting the little strategy guides and you know what I'm saying, and really like diving into it before I became a full-on evil lab scientist Pokemon breeder like I am now. Look at you.
Bro,
in the lab.
I got Pokemon boxes full of failed experiments. Trying to get them perfect IVs, man.
Bro, for sure. But I would definitely have to, that's why I have to put this one up there, is because it's the one that really got me into the real Pokemon gaming. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, bro, this game, I don't know, man. It just, all the stuff we do now, this is where it started at.
Yep,
so,
I'm with you.
Pokemon Sapphire for sure. So that's my list, man. Number 5, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. Number 4, Mega Man 03. Number 3, Miles Morales. Number 2, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And number 1, Pokemon Sapphire. Honorable mention to Ninja Gaiden 2 on Xbox 360, man.
Fuck that game.
Love that game, but oh my God, it was hard as crap.
Oh my God. I don't even enjoy those games anymore, just because of how hard they were.
Hardest games I've ever played in my life, Ninja Gaiden and Mega Man 0. The 2 hardest games ever.
I would also throw Shinobi on PS2 on that list as well.
Oh my gosh. And it's like, it's not even fun difficulty. It's like stressed out.
It's like fuck you difficulty.
Break your controller difficulty. That's the kind of difficulty we're talking about here, man. But yeah, bro. Let's go, man. That's what's up.
Boom.
Give me a real quick, most overrated MCU film. Go. Hurry up. Go right now.
The first
right now.
first
Hurry up.
Captain America. Trash.
Okay.
What about
I'm
you?
gonna say Avengers Endgame. Time travel. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, shout out to the Discord. That was dope. You guys asked some really good questions. We tried to get to as many as we possibly could. Episode 72 in the books. I know it was a long one.
Check it.
And yeah, man.
Welcome back, hero.
Peace. We love y'all. Thanks for listening.
My word is my sword, Hokage and Batosai, pulling the blades out of the forge, yo. Prior to my knowledge of the Force, was thinking Jedi, but through obtaining holocrons from both sides, I'm under gray skies. Everything that glitter ain't kyber crystal, my mind will lift you. In this time we shine together, disarm your pistol, yo. Welcome to the SwordCast, SwordCast. My wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, SwordCast. My wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, SwordCast. My wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, SwordCast. My wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash.